Hi, I'm Dani Gasparini, and welcome to this segment of Penn Voice. I am joined by two amazing ladies, Darlynne Wood and also June Athanacio. I wanted to make sure I said that correctly, who are both volunteers with Encore Books. Now, here's how it all goes. We are all familiar with the San Mateo County Historical Association and also the San Mateo County Museum that's located in Redwood City. Well, they've said that they're the best kept secret. They are the bookstore underneath the museum, so just down that ramp in Redwood City, and all the proceeds that they get from the bookstore actually goes to support the History Museum's programs. So it's real important for us to learn about Encore Books and all that you do, how we can support Encore Books, because at the end of the day, we're all supporting that museum in Redwood City. So Darlynne and June, thank you so much for being a part of Penn Voice today. Darlynne, tell us why you got involved with the bookstore to begin with, and June, I'm going to ask you that same question.
I got involved with the bookstore when it was still at the College of San Mateo 45 years ago. And then we went to Victorian Days. Anybody that bought books at Victorian Days, that was us. And now we moved into the bottom of the museum 20 years ago. When they moved in there, we got the lower level.
Wonderful.
So I love books, and now I'm retired. I work with books.
And you've met, I'm sure, some amazing friends and volunteers.
Absolutely, absolutely. There's a lot of us that have been there for a long time.
And June, how about you? How did you end up finding the bookstore?
Well, I started as a docent in the museum. And one day after my time up there, I walked down the stairs and I noticed this little bookstore, which was much smaller at that time. This was about 20 years ago before we expanded. And I love books, and I bought some used books, and I was asked if I would like to volunteer. And I said, absolutely. So I wound up wearing two hats, one for the museum upstairs and one downstairs at the bookstore.
Well, you absolutely both bring joy to my heart, because the smiles on your face, I hope our audience can really capture them, because obviously today is something that you're very excited about and very passionate about, and it just seems like it's brought so much to both your lives. But let's jump into a little bit about the who, what, and where with the bookstore. So I gave a little secret. It is underneath the museum. There's a little ramp downstairs. Yeah. But tell us a little bit about the bookstore itself.
When you go down the ramp and you come into the bookstore, the first room is full of trade books, hardbound mystery books, art books, poetry. Go into the next room. There's a huge room with children's books, military, political history, anything. We have classics, many shelves of classics. Go into the next room. We have pocketbooks that are all priced at $1, a flat rate. We have a little room that has collectible books that are a little bit more, of course. But the prices are so low because all our books are donated. So we don't have to put any expense out to buy books.
And tell us a little bit about the store hours, just because I want to make sure everyone knows when you're open.
On Tuesday to Saturday at 11 a.m. and we close at 3.
And I know, June, it takes a lot of volunteer person hours in order to keep the bookstore running. And you have a special plea to all of our viewers to say, come down and join the family.
Yes, our volunteers are aging. We're getting older. And most of us have been there many, many years. And so we do need new, fresh blood, so to speak. And it's such a rewarding job. I know anybody who would just join us for a little while would be hooked. Because if you love books.
Right, 20 and 42 years. So it sounds like I'm going to have the fish hook. Now, do you expect a certain number of hours per volunteer, or is it something that's more flexible for their schedules?
Well, we usually have 4-hour shifts, but we do have people that only work 2 hours. And if we work, if they want to work once a week or twice a week, that's fine. Sometimes the people only work once a month. So we are very flexible according to their schedule.
Right, you're real accommodating. So mainly we want people to watch this program, come down and visit you and tell you that they would like to volunteer, or jump on your website and let you know that they'd like to be contacted to become a volunteer.
Absolutely, yeah.
Now, we heard that you receive your books through donations.
Yes.
And that, I think, June, in the beginning of the program, you and I chatted briefly about you welcome teachers to come. Because
Yes.
you want teachers to come and purchase some books for their classrooms, but you do that at a very special rate.
Yes, because we realize that many of these teachers are not getting reimbursed for the books that they're buying for their classes, and so we help out that way and usually try to give them a good discount according to how much they buy, but it's usually half off.
And what are some of the other specials? I know that you do a book sale, I believe, twice a year, so tell us about that.
Twice a year we have a sale coming up April 14th and 15th, and everything in the store is half off. So,
Everything.
Yeah, we get a lot of people that
So
come.
how do we find out about when your half-off sales are?
Well, if you sign up, if you visit the store and sign up, we send out flyers.
Okay, you have a mailing list.
Individual.
Yes.
Okay.
So this sale usually is on a Saturday and Sunday. We open earlier. We open from 9 to 3 for the sale, and we usually get a pretty good crowd.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, and that's the only time we're open on a Sunday.
It's through
for the
your
half-price
sale.
sale, yeah.
And June, in the beginning, you talked about how you sort of have two hats, and that is the docent and then also a volunteer with the bookstore. So the bookstore helps the History Museum provide tours to all of our grade school, our school-age kids in Redwood City, so that they can come free of charge to visit the museum.
Right, that's the outreach program that the museum has, and they have a schedule where you sign up for it. The schools sign up in advance, and it's really quite busy.
Right.
Yeah.
And then last question for you too, Darlynne, and that is, so if I wanted to donate some books, whether it's 1 or 100, how do I arrange to do that with you?
You can call the museum, and they will either, if we're not open, take the message. They'll forward it downstairs to the bookstore, and we will either, we have someone that might pick them up, or we can tell them what hours to bring them. And so we will get them.
Or if they don't have too many and can bring them themselves,
Bring
they
them themselves.
just come down
That's an
between
efficient way to
11
do
and 3, and we'll accept the books.
Okay.
And there is a tax write-off on that
They
as
can
well.
have that. a
Oh,
form.
that's important to make sure our viewers know that
Yeah.
you can give them a slip for their
Slip for their taxes.
donation, right? And then do you accept all the books, and then if it's not something that's appropriate for your shelves, you can then donate on or pass on to another?
If we have duplicates or anything like that, then we do have outlets that we can take them to. And if the books are, sometimes we do get very old books that are moldy or whatever, damaged in some way, then they go to the, not to landfill, they go to the paper recycle. And we pretty well don't, we use everything that comes in. We don't like magazines. We do not do magazines.
Oh,
And we
important.
prefer that we don't get textbooks as well.
Textbooks.
Right, because they could be out of date or out of edition.
Exactly.
Marked up quite a bit.
Oh, I got you. So we just have about 30 seconds left, and I would love to just put you on the spot and say, what's that last thing that you want to make sure that our viewers take away when they see the two of you talking about Encore books and the support you give to the History Museum?
A good experience.
Oh,
Yes.
and I love
Good
your
experience.
smile.
You can't come into our bookstore without finding something that you really need.
Well, I agree. I brought in our 3-year-old grandson about 2 months ago, and he just had a ball sitting and looking at all the books, because it is quite impressive. There are a lot of books. If no one has seen the bookstore, there are a lot of books, and there are a lot of rooms, and there's a lot to look at. So plan some time to
Best kept secret.
best kept
And very inexpensive.
Agreed.
Very.
I appreciated that you were very willing to work with the pricing and to, and I think someone might have even given my grandson one of his favorite books for 25 cents, because that's what he had in his pocket. So I appreciate that very much to the both of you.
Good.
Well, thank you for your years and years of volunteering to an organization that is so important to the vitality of San Mateo County. I appreciate both of your time.
Thank you for
all
having
of your
us.
Well, thank you very
energy
much.
and passion. Please visit Encore Books at the San Mateo County History Museum in Redwood City as soon as you can. They need volunteers too. We'll see you next time on Penn Voice. Roadshow.
Oh, we just can't think of anything else. I got
think we
last
said
week. I
everything.
went to